to my channel. And I thought that I might do a video on GCHF right quick, because one of the things that I noticed that GCHF is possibly giving us a break of structure, and there can be some things that we can expect possibly within the next day or the upcoming weeks with this particular pair. And so I wanted to capitalize, and I wanted to mark this pair up for you guys. That way, if this is something that you see in the market as well, you can mark your alerts. You can do whatever you need to do to possibly capitalize on this particular trade. Okay, so let's jump into it. So as you guys can see with GCHF, it's been bearish for quite some time. We have a weekly trend on here, and we can see that this trend is validated because we have 3 touches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly a 5th touch to ride it down to the downside. However, one of the things that we want to be mindful with this particular pair is that we see that we're still currently in down structure. So with that, we have a possible break of structure in this area here. So let's look at it. We can see we have a high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, and then we can see that this area here has started to break this structure here. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's hone in on price a little bit more, that way we can see exactly what's happening. Okay, so as we can see in this area here, this is our last high point, because this low here validated this area here, because you can see this is lower than this area. So this is our last lower high. So in this area, we can say this is our daily break of structure area here. So a couple of things that we can notate right off the bat is we can see that we have this trend line. Their price has been respected for quite some time, but we also have a bearish, bullish, bearish that actually created this leg of structure here. So this is our daily supply zone right here that we can see. So one of the things we want to do, we want to make sure we keep everything simple, and we don't want to complicate any of our trading. We just follow our principles, and we do the same thing over and over and over again. And so when we see these different things in the market, you know, we can capitalize off of it. No need to do anything different. You know, follow your principles, let the market come to you. And when it gives you what you're looking for, you can take it, because there's no need to trade every single day. You're not obligated to trade every single day. Only trade when you see your setups, okay? Because every single day there will always be a setup that'll come your way. There's always another day to trade, all right? So patience is the name of the game as well. So as we can see from a daily perspective, prices, like I said, is starting to give us that daily break of structure. But if we break it down to the 4-hour, we can see price action, and we can see there's an upward structure on the 4-hour time frame. We can tell that we have a high, higher low, higher low, and another higher high. Okay, so right here is our last structural point on the 4-hour. Now let's break it down to a micro structure. Anything from the 1 hour and lower, that's considered as micro structure. Anything 1 hour and above is considered as macro structure. Okay, so if we're looking at this from an hourly perspective, we got a high, higher low, higher low, higher high, because as you can see, this point is higher than this point here. So higher high, higher low, higher high. This area here is our last 1 hour higher low. So basically what we want to do, we want to notate this, and we want to set an alert right here. 1 hour, well, let's see, GBPCHF, 1 hour, BOS, okay? We're going to set our alert right there, because we know from a daily perspective, when you get that breaker structure, it has to retest, okay? It has to retest on the daily time frame. It has to come down there and, you know, give us what we need. So because this is a daily time frame, we don't necessarily want to wait for price to get down here and then ride it up. This is a lot of pips, and so we can possibly capitalize off of some good pips to the downside. So let's just say if we got a break of structure, you know, we're looking at 200 some pips to the downside. And there are a couple of confluences that we're looking for that can possibly bounce price back up. So let's just say if price did decide to retrace from this area here, which I don't know if it will. We'll know that if we get a break of structure. But if it does, you know, we have a couple things that we can look at. We have a inefficiency right here. This is an imbalance right here in the market. And we also have this level of demand in this area here. These are two areas that we can look at that can potentially push price back up. Okay, we have this level of demand. We'll go ahead and put this in the center like so. All right. So now we know that this area in this, all of this area here is beyond our 50%. But one of the things that we don't want to negate is this particular level of demand in this area right here as well. So we see we have another level of demand right here from this order block that was formed. Okay. So let's go ahead and move that. Let's drop it down to the 4 hour and see what else we have. So we can tell that, yep, we have inefficiencies in this area. We also have another demand area here, but we'll look at this if price decides to break this demand level here, because we can see this is a continuation pattern on the 4 hour. We have a bullish, bearish, bullish that push price up and continue in this leg of structure. However, we don't necessarily want to look for sales until we actually break this structure. So one of the things that price can possibly do, it can come up and tap this trend. It can tap this trend and break this trend, you guys. It can break this trend, come up a little bit and retest, and it can continue to the upside. You know, in some instances, price might not come all the way back down here to retest this area. That's the likely thing that we will want to see. But like I said, we want to be patient because we have this huge daily supply zone that price can play within. Let's drop it down to the 1 hour and just look within this supply zone just to see what confluences we have. Okay, so let's look at this. So price can possibly come up to this area here. We have an inefficiency here, and we also have an inefficiency in this area here. Let's make it a little bigger so you guys can see it. We have an inefficiency here that price can possibly bounce off of to go to the downside. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna notate this entire area here as our supply zone, and we're gonna cover a little bit of this inefficiency as well. That way we know exactly what's going on. Okay, so we'll notate this as a clear zone. Actually, what we'll do, we'll change this one to our clear supply zone, because it's a bigger zone. Okay, and this one, we'll change this one to our yellow, our traditional, our traditional yellow zone here. Okay, and we also have another zone in this area right here that has an inefficiency that we'll cover as well. So we have these two supply zones that we can look to for potential, you know, to be potential point of interests. Okay, let's go to the 4 hour. That way we can expand these things like so. Okay, supply. Let's move this over a little bit. We'll notate this as our daily supply. And these here are 4 hour supplies. Was that 4 hour or was that 1 hour? Yeah, these are 1 hour supplies. 1 hour supply. We'll put that in the middle like so. And we'll do the same for this one as well. Okay. All right, that's what we're looking at for the 4 hour. All right, so we just want to be mindful of these, and we can actually take this off. Take that off, and we'll take this, put it right here. Daily supply right there. All right. So we got these two 1 hour supply zones that we can look for potential point of interests, and we can see exactly what the market is going to give us for these areas. And we can see if price will bounce off of these areas, you guys. If price continues to the upside, one of the things that we can do to capitalize off of that as well is we see, because we're in an up structure, we can use our Fibonacci when it's still in an up structure. We can take it from the swing low up to the swing high. We can look at it like this, and we can say, okay, price will possibly, come down to this area, hit this supply zone here. I'm sorry, demand zone. This 1 hour demand zone here, and possibly ride it back to the upside to possibly this negative 27. So if that's something that we can catch as well, we can potentially catch pips going to the upside. And if you look at that, if we bounce off of this, hold on, let's put our fib back on. If we bounce off of this demand zone here, that's about 83 pips up to this trend line here. So that would be another scenario that'll be ideal that we can possibly ride it to the upside as well. Okay, so what we can do, let's break it down to the 1 hour. As we can see, we have an inefficiency in this area as well. So I'll move my demand zone up a little bit just to capture that. And what we can do is we can set an alert right in this area. Let's say GBPCHF approaching POI. And when it gets down to this area, that'll let us know as well, hey, price is getting down to this area. We possibly can look at price to see what it'll do, if it'll ride back up to the upside. Okay. Let's see if we drop to the 15-minute. We have a area here that possibly can be respected as well. Let's look at our fibs and kind of look and see. But we have this area that's within our 50%. So price could bounce off of this. Right around our 50 and our 61.8. So we just got to see, we just got to see. I'll actually put my alert right above this area as well, just so we can see what'll happen. Bounce off of this area, shoot to the upside or something like that. So we'll be patient, see what price gives us. And yeah, we'll just move like that. So if you guys wanted to kind of look at this alert is set at 1.24083. And that's when I kind of have for this area. And yeah, guys, you guys, that's what we're looking at. So we're looking at these areas here for, some possibilities with GCHF. If it don't give us what we're looking for and it continues to the upside, then we'll just kind of wait and see what it does. But we'll also set another alert right up in this area here. Actually, let's set our alert on our trend. GBPCHF taps weekly trend, because that's actually right before our supply zones. Yeah, so if it hit that trend right there, it'll let us know that price is getting up to that particular area. And hey, you guys, I hope this was informative. That's what we're looking at with GCHF. Hopefully this is something that we can capitalize on in the upcoming weeks, day, or whatever the case may be. But like I said, as always, I appreciate you guys rocking with us, and I see y'all on the next video.